Hi, it's Shay and welcome back again to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Shay and I am a graduate of BS Pharmacy from the University of Santo Tomas. And on today's video, I'm going to share my note-taking and memorization tips with you guys. Yung mga tips na to, yung tumulong talaga sa akin para mag-excel sa pharmacy. Disclaimer lang pala guys, yung mga tips na sasabihin ko sa inyo worked for me, but I know it will not work for everyone. But I know that eventually you will also find your own sets of styles and techniques once you already progress in the course sa pharma, because like you, I was also once a student who wants to excel in the course. So hindi ko na patagalin tong video na to. Let's get right into it. Punta muna tayo sa note-taking. Like any other student who wants to excel academically, I often take notes also on any piece of paper, notebook, libro, or kahit sa laptop, like taking down or typing down notes. Ganun ako guys. Because taking down notes helps our brains become more attentive instead of just passively listening to our professors and lecturers. Aside from helping our brains become more attentive and awake, it also keeps us engaged doon sa mga topics na meron tayo on hand. The reason why I really like to take notes is because it makes me more focused on the topics na dinidiscuss sa amin. So pag na-note-taking ko, there's really nothing special, but I really make sure that 80 to 90% of what I'm writing is very high yield for me. Because do remember that note-taking also consumes most of your time. Kaya dapat alam mo kung paano alagaan yung oras mo when it comes to note-taking and also when it comes to learning what you've written. Whenever I do my notes, it's either digitally, kung saan nagtatype ako, or manually, kung saan nagsusulat ako. But most of the time, I do the latter. Yun yung pinaka-best way in order for me to understand also what I'm writing. And ito yung mga examples ng notes ko guys. Yung iba kasi nasa dorm ko. And ito. Di naman siguro halatang masyado mahilig ako magsulat na. May dalawang klase kasi ako ng mga notes na ginagawa. First is yung word per word na sinasabi ng professor or coming from the lecturer. And yung second naman is words coming from how I was able to understand it. So, una muna tayo dun sa word per word ng professor or ng lecturer. Kaya ako siya ginagawa kasi may mga concepts na nahihirapan akong maintindihan talaga. Ako kasi guys, yung parang passively na lang akong nagli-listen pero wala naman akong input na nakukuha. So, maliban sa sayang oras, sayang din yung energy na meron ka. Kaya ang ginagawa ko, I just take down some notes, word per word, tapos, babalikan ko na lang siya. And yung technique na to, it really allows me to understand yung perceived lesson coming from the professor. It also allows me to have my own interpretation din. Yung pangalawa naman, which is yung words or notes coming from my own understanding. Itong mga notes na to, yung mga mahahalaga na kailangan kong tandaan. Kaya, yun yung dalawang notes na meron ako guys. First is yung mga words per words, kasi ito yung mga topics na, or mga concepts na hindi ko madaling maintindihan. And then yung second, which is yung based on my own understanding, ito naman yung mga notes na mahalaga for me, na possible lumabas sa isang exam or possible na lumabas sa isang quiz or assignment na meron kami. The next thing na makikita nyo sa mga notes ko guys is color coding. Hindi ako yung masyadong technical pagdating sa colors. Pakita ko sa inyo guys. Halimbawa, itong, sorry medyo inverted. Okay guys, inverted siya kasi ang camera yung gamit ko. Pero dispensing to, ito. Nakikita nyo, meron akong pink na highlight dito. This indicates that the notes that I have right here are from my lecture subject, pink to purple. This indicates naman that these notes right here are from my laboratory na subject. Lahat ng notes ko coming from lecture and laboratory are put into one section. Yo, kasi yung parang paghiwa-hiwalayin ko pa yung lecture and laboratory when in fact, halos yung topics naman na nakapaloob sa kanila is related. Bakit ko pa sila paghihiwalayin? Kaya, ganyan yung ginagawa ko guys. So, sa isang subject, nandito yung lecture, yung laboratory, just depends on me kung paano ko siya ayusin or i-organize. And what I do is through color coding. And yung pagka-color code ko, hindi lang siya on the basis of just labeling it either as lecture or laboratory notes, but also my way of trying to visualize yung mga emphasis na kailangan mong gawin. Papakita ko sa inyo guys. Aside from using highlighters, I also use colored pens like blue, reds, ganyan, in order for me to have some emphasis on some of the annotations that I'm doing. Sometimes, if I don't have available pens, I use pencils. Kung halimbawa, if I'm very afraid to make mistakes, yun, doon ako gumagamit ng pencils. As you could see, there are some blues, yan, mga emphasis yan. There are also some reds, ganyan. That's how I take down my notes. You could use highlighters naman if you want to make labels and emphasis as well. One of my favorites also is by writing on yellow paper or sa yellow pad. Kasi, ewan ko ba guys, parang mas nakapag-focus ako kapag sa yellow pad ako nagsusulat. Ayan. Ganyan ako mag-take down ng notes. Lagi kong ginagawa ay divide it into 2 columns para hindi masyadong maaksaya sa papel and para mas maraming spaces. May kita nyo, may mga annotations dyan. Tapos, mga side notes. Ayan. Ganyan ako magsulat. Next naman guys is I love my notes to get dirty. Yun yung indication na na-enjoy ko yung subject. I am very interested in the topic and gagawin ko talaga yung lahat para lang maintindihan yung topic or concept na yun. And the reason why it's dirty guys is because I love annotating. Like, ang dami kong mga notes, side notes na ginagawa. It is comprised of my own understanding on the topics. Lastly, what I also do whenever I take notes is gustong-gusto kong nagvi-visualize, which is why nagdo-drawing ako. Kung may time lang naman kayo guys, pwede nyo siyang gawin. Pero ako, as a visual learner myself, and gustong-gusto ko siyang may drawings kasi it helps me visualize clearer yung mga images and yung mga tinuturo sa amin. Let's proceed naman guys sa memorization tips na meron ako. And ngayon pa lang, sinasabi ko na sa inyo, pharmacy is a very memorization-driven na course. Before memorizing anything else, kailangan you have to have a good foundation and grasp on the concept provided to you. Kasi kung hindi mo alam yung concept, what's the sense of memorizing yung mga terms, names, or phrases na meron, baliwala lang silang lahat kung hindi mo alam kung para saan siya, ano nga ba yung significance niya. For example guys, when I was in my high school days, na-introduce na sa amin yung topic na glycolysis. I just plainly memorized it na hindi ko talaga alam kung para saan. E di ayun na nga, na-memorize ko na siya. After some time, mga 1 buwan lang after na namin mag-exam, wala na. Like, wala na akong maalala dun sa mga inaral ko. Hindi ko na alam kung paano ba yung buong process ng glycolysis again. Tapos, hindi ko na alam kung ano mga enzymes na nandun again. Kasi hindi ko naintindihan yung concept na nandun. Not until, nasa college na ako, 2nd year biochemistry and 4th year kasi review time namin yon. Sabi ko, now I already know the importance of glycolysis in the body. It's important for homeostasis, our metabolism. Parang second na lang yung pagme-memorize ng mga enzymes involved and the products seen on the process. Like yung mga glucose to glucose 6-phosphate, ganyan, through hexokinase. And I cannot emphasize this enough. The reason why I want you guys to understand the concept first, kasi our brains kasi have the tendency to just delete information that it is not using in order for it to accommodate new significant information na alam nitong magagamit nito on a daily basis. Kaya kung hindi nyo na ma-master yung concept and hindi nyo talaga alam kung para sa yung information na ginagamit ninyo, then asahan ninyo, mawawala na talaga yan in a span of weeks, in a span of months. Kaya always study the concept first, learn it by heart, and once you already understood it, learned it by heart, guys, you're good to go. Isa sa mga techniques din na ginagawa ko is because of repetition and familiarization. Sa repetition, guys, ang ginagamit ko talaga for me to memorize is by using apps like Anki, Quizlet, or by trying to write down on index cards. Wala kasi yung index cards ko dito, guys. Kung paulit-ulit na sinasabi sa inyo or it's constantly being repeated to you 5 times or 10 times ng mga professors or ng classmates nyo, asahan na ninyo na nakatatak na yan sa utak ninyo. That's the beauty of repetition. Because every time you repeat something, it never gets out of your mind. Like, alam mo na, ay, paulit-ulit na lang, ganyan-ganyan. Ikaw na lang magsasawa sa sarili mo. Take advantage of repetition. Next is familiarization. And sa pagfa-familiarization ko kasi, kasama na rin yun sa pagti-take down ko ng notes. Doon mo na fina-familiarize, ito pala yung topic, ito pala yung mga involved doon sa process, yung mga terms, ito pala sila. Alam nyo ba, before any exam, sinusulat ko talaga lahat doon sa mga PDFs na binibigay sa amin ng mga professors namin. Sinusulat ko talaga isa-isa. Alam kong medyo time-consuming, but it really helped me ace some of my exams. Familiarization and repetition can be your best friend in memorizing in pharma. And I attest to that. Wag na wag niyo yung kakalimutan. Kahit pa ulit-ulit nyo na itong narinig mula sa akin, trust me on this. Di ko na ulitin, guys. And lastly, for memorization, ito, bihira ko lang tong gawin. Pero I know it will be a really big help for you. Pumunta kayo sa Quizlet and try to find yung mga parang questions and answers doon. Marami rin namang mga pharma students from UST or from other colleges as well. Hindi naman tayo nagkakalayo sa mga topics na dinidiscuss. Makikita nyo dyan, meron sila mga index cards na may mga questions and answers. And gamitin nyo yung time nyo in order for you to test yourself kung naging effective ba yung mga pag-aaral mo para hindi mo rin makalimutan agad-agad. And it would really challenge your brain to memorize more. So that's all for our video today, guys. I hope that I've answered some of your questions on how I do my own note-taking and how I memorize in pharmacy. And alam kong marami sa inyo dyan yung medyo hirap na hirap talaga sa pag-memorize. Lalo na sa 4th year, especially if comprehensive na, kailangan from 1st year to 4th year yung mga aaralan ninyo. Don't worry, it's really normal. Huwag kayong ma-overwhelm masyado. And also be kind to yourself. Kasi hindi naman in a snap, alam na natin lahat. We are constant learners. Hindi tayo experts na agad or magaling na kaagad. Always strive harder than before. So, ayun lang, guys. If you have any more questions, suggestions, or recommendations for me to do, just comment down below on this video, or you could message me on my social media accounts. You can follow me at shaynamazae on Instagram, Twitter, or you could also try to message me on my Facebook account if mas comfortable kayo sa Facebook. Hope to see you guys on my next video. Bye!
Into someone I never had. I can't pretend I don't need you. I can't pretend I don't love you. I can't pretend.